So here we see Ed Strangler Lewis go for a single leg and then go for like reverse Kasagatami. In judo terms, 10th Planet guys call it twister side control. And he's still got a hold of that leg, and this is like sort of a pseudo pin that we see in a lot of leg lock attacks. But in these old matches, the defender would go belly down because he didn't want to get pinned. And when the defender would go belly down, this would leave them exposed to a lot of what the catch wrestlers and pro wrestlers would call toe holds. Now, the meaning of toe holds is a little different in these matches. It doesn't necessarily involve making a 2-on-1 grip and trying to break the ankle or even the knee, which can happen sometimes from toe holds. It's really just designed as a punishment hold to encourage the person to go voluntarily to their back to concede a match by giving the other guy a pin because they're in so much pain. Um, guys like Frank Gotch were very famous for doing vicious toe holds, sometimes from standing, right? Very often from standing. But in these old theatrical matches, this was kind of a moment to just inflict a lot of pain so the crowd could increase their investment in the match, right? Because it was like a scripted entertainment thing. But what's cool about this particular example is how he applies it, even when Dick Shickat's knee is bent and the leg is compressed as a bent limb. And this is something that I've played around with in roles where, like, if I'm coming out of, for example, like a half guard sweep, like particularly the kind where you dive underneath and you're cupping the guy's shin in a compression against his own, like his leg is bent and you're just scooping up his bent leg, you end up landing in a position that's a lot like this, where you can keep his leg bent, but, and this is the part specifically that we can't really see very well here, um, while keeping that leg bent, you can bend his ankle with, in this case, Ed Strangler Lewis is doing this with his right hand. Like he's bending the foot, he's externally rotating it. So it's the same kind of pressure that you get in inside heel hooks, right? So does it have exactly all the same mechanics as an inside heel hook? Not necessarily, but you do get a lot of the same breaking mechanics in a less intense way. And what I like about that in this case is you can get those same breaking mechanics without exposing any of your own limbs to leg lock reversals. So this is a little bit of an example of something that's done more in matches where pins are more of a concern, but also kind of an example of potential to translate something successfully into modern grappling, and something that I have experimented with a little bit and I have had like a little bit of success with. So interesting bit of archival footage, but also kind of a call to experiment with for moderns.